Hello, biology class. Welcome to Lab 9. This is the semi-permeable lab that you guys did last week for homework. We're going to go over the results page, which is on page 39 of your lab manual, so you can fill in the answers to these questions if you have not yet done so. Number 1, what color is the water when you first put in the iodine? It's kind of a rust color, kind of a yellow-brown. Number 2, what substance in the water will you be testing for? Well, you're going to be testing for the presence of starch. Number 3, what color should it become if it is present? It should become black-ish. Ours was pretty purple, so purplish black. When you observed the container, number 4, the next day, what changes did you see? The starch solution did turn a purple or a dark color. Number 5. What does this indicate? Well, it indicates that the iodine stained the starch, so it had to pass from the water through the membrane into the starch. It also indicated that the starch molecules were too big to get out of the semi-permeable tubing, so it stayed in the tube, and that's why that was black and the water was then clear. Explain what happened in this experiment based on what you know about diffusion and about selectively permeable membranes. There's a little paragraph here. I'll read it to you. So there's more iodine outside the starch-filled tubing, so the tubing allowed the iodine to pass through. It stained the starch black. The starch molecules, we already talked about this, were too large to pass through the tubing, and they also do not dissolve in water. Therefore, even though the concentration of starch was greater in the tube than outside the tube, it could not diffuse out. If the starch molecules were smaller, they could have diffused out into the water, and then all the water would have been starchy purple. Number 7, how is the wet dialysis tubing like a cell membrane? The dialysis tubing represents a semi-permeable membrane, and that's like our cell membranes. They're semi-permeable. And number 8, why is it important to rinse off the excess starch off the tubing in step 9? Well, if you don't rinse off the starch, then the starch molecules are in the water, and the water would turn black, indicating the presence of starch, even though the starch did not diffuse out. So you don't want any starch on the outside of your tubing, or it messes up your results. Okay. Thank you, class. I hope you had fun with that one. I've included pictures for you to take a look at.